Yeah, yeah, yeah. You think that's how it's gonna work? I'm not so sure. Yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure though. It'd be nice, but I'm not sure if we can rely on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. What's going on?
Hey, how are you doing, man?
Uh, the coffee's made, so
Oh, hey.
I got.
Oh, that sounds delicious, man.
So I haven't thought much past the first sip. You know?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, dude, I like just woke up and I was like, dude, there's Twitter talks. I was like, okay.
Yeah. See what I want.
Dude, well, I've been
Yeah.
on a Twitter talk with you before, and
I don't think we've ever spoken before, eh?
it was a good one.
Have we?
Yeah, I was in a Twitter talk with you, and like a couple other people, but it was a really good talk. So I saw you again, and I was like,
Oh,
gotta see what's up.
nice. Do you remember what we're talking about?
Honestly, I don't, but I'm pretty sure. I think Tarish might have been there. Tarish 20. I think he might have been there. Um,
Huh, I'm trying to
he's
think.
a little Australian kid.
I know there's like an Australian, the cat, just the cat, or maybe somebody different.
Sorry, there was. I don't remember. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. I do remember it was a good Twitter talk, and you were there. So
Nah, wicked, wicked, wicked. Yeah, it's funny because I don't I have like a community and I don't, if you know what I
yeah, I
mean.
feel that, dude. Yeah, yeah,
All right,
yeah.
people come and go. I come and go. You know.
Yeah, dude. Everyone's got a life, at least you're putting in the time to, like you're putting yourself out there just by being in a Twitter talk right now. So I'll tweet out the room if
Yeah.
you want me to. But
No, it's one of those things where uh it's funny meeting people online because because you never really know anything.
Right.
right? About someone.
Right, dude. And I mean, this is a good way, I guess, to connect with people and not having to have that like aspect of physical appearance at all. You just get to talk to someone with their voice and see, how you can really interact with someone just by a PFP,
Well, I went to a conference last week, right? And I was like DJing and stuff, right? And I'm not sure if I was if being in person helped me accomplish things that I wouldn't, you know, set out to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, um, I don't know, maybe I'm just built different. I don't know.
I'm built different. He says, yeah.
You know, maybe I just don't need that information
Mm,
that because there's people will always say, right? Like, oh, we need face to face because of this, or we need it because of that. I'm like, I don't know, maybe you need it.
like, I don't need it. Yeah.
I don't need it. And they're like, yeah, because there's not enough collaboration. I'm like, I'm not so sure about that.
Dude, you probably could have just like emailed the playlist in. No, I'm just kidding. No, just be like,
Yo, no, I swear to God, if you see the, if you see the, because the days before I was like, yo, what music am I gonna play, right?
mm-hmm.
And then I, found the music, whatever, put together a playlist. But I was like, when I go there, I'm gonna pretend like I'm doing stuff, right? Once you
Right,
like,
yeah.
once you look at the computer and you're like, oh man, I wonder what's, and like it's like
You act
kind of
like
like
you
that
don't know what to
George.
play next, and you don't have a
Yeah,
playlist. You're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh, what are you
yeah,
gonna hear
yeah,
next?
yeah. And then I said like pretending that my hands could control the computer because nobody knows these days, right? They don't.
Dude,
Nobody knows.
who's seeing behind the computer? Right? No, I know. You just
No.
look at you, and you have your
Dude,
headset on, you're jamming. They're like, oh,
some what I did is I went across the room, and when a song was ending and another one was beginning, I pretended to turn the music down with my hands while I was getting food, and then I turned it up, slowly, like just
yeah.
turning the dial. Yeah, and then the girl in the booth beside me, she's like, "So how are you playing this music?" I'm like, "I'm using two YouTube screens."
She's like, wow. It's like, you mean I could do this at home by myself?
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
no, only I'm certified.
No.
I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
you have to be a CDJ, a certified DJ, right?
You gotta be a certified DJ. I went to DJ college.
Yeah. So you want the DJ, right? So what I did was I was like, oh, okay, hey, you want the playlist? So you can be a conference DJ too. There you go.
She's like, wow, man, I've always wanted to be a DJ before.
Yeah, I've never even heard this music before. Now I can DJ it. It's fucking amazing.
That's awesome,
So
bro. I mean,
I just put
but
the playlist at the top.
you put the time in though to make the playlist. So
Well, it's funny because like I put the time in to ask the guys from Ghana what to play, and I just kept taking down names until they stopped coming up with ideas. And so it's like 50 songs later, there's a playlist.
smooth, groovy selections. That's a good title, dude.
I was trying to imagine if I was a conference DJ and I didn't know what to play, right?
Mm.
And people say, "Hey, play Afrobeat." What's that? Just press play on this. You'll be fine. So nothing too fast, creamy chords on the keyboard, all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was like that. I played. It's funny because when I started playing Spanish music, like bachata, all of the servers and the people like helping with the food were like, "Hey,
Mm.
thanks for playing this." I'm like, "All of you like this? All right."
Like, I've never heard this before, but I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. So it was kind of one of those things. It was like over 2 days. It was
Mm.
actually my first in-person conference after a long time, like almost 2 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of seeing a lot of people, but
Oh, it sounds like a good opportunity for you, though.
oh, here's the thing. While I may not crave in person, other people do.
Oh yeah.
And so, a lot of things kind of happen pretty quickly. It's funny because when you're playing, like I was DJing and I had my steel pan there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm playing steel pan and blah, blah. And essentially, I have like the best booth,
Oh yeah.
right? And so all these people are coming up to me saying, "Hey, do you DJ? Is that what you do?" I'm like, "No." "Oh, so you play steel pan?" No, not really." They're like, "What?" "Yeah, like I'm a recruiter."
Oh.
Right? So they're like, "Really?" Because I have the Hawaiian jacket on and all this shit,
Yeah.
right? So nobody expects you to know anything, which is a good position to be in, right?
Right.
Because if you're playing like Afrobeat or hip hop, and then they're like, "Hey, do you know what about IP addresses?" And it's like, "Yes, I do."
Yep. You're like, I know that's my talk, man.
Yeah, that's my shit. And they're like, "What? Wow, you can play steel pan and you know how to turn on a computer? This is amazing. Where'd you learn how to turn on a computer?"
This kid was
You know?
built different.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do is be a low status,
yeah.
right?
No, yeah. I know the feeling. I mean, I know the not the feeling, but the I know. I also
You
enjoy.
know what it's like. You know
Yes.
what it's like when people are trying to subordinate you,
Yeah.
right? And I
Mm-hmm.
used to be so pissed off at it, but now I kind of use it to my advantage, right? Because they don't know anything about me. Nobody knows anything about me, right?
Right. Correct. You don't know about me,
So,
man. I was like,
exactly. Right? And so, like, every time you speak, like, I'm a recruiter, right? So it's like every time you speak, there's information exchanged,
correct.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
same thing goes for me, same thing goes for everyone. And so, like, as you're talking to people, you're like, "You DJ? No. You play steel pan? I mean, kind of, right? I've been doing it for a while, but that's not, what I do. It's, it's nice, right? Just to meet people not by the company they work with, as if that told you anything about them. I wonder if I can get this hooked up. Where's
So
that mic?
it's just a glowing screen with words coming out of my device. You know.
What happened?
So you're a person in IRL, but like right now when we're in spaces and we're in the Twitterverse, we just are talking to screens basically. But there's these PFPs that are represent necessarily people. So and
Maybe,
all you can do to connect is either DM or like voice chat, I guess, with them over a Twitter talk. But
well, you can know a lot about them by if you just scan through their profile.
oh yeah, but like not a whole lot of people. I mean, some people have everything like on their page of like who
Hmm.
they are, and I don't really care to share that, but
Hmm.
some people just put their whole life story on there and you're like, wow, you were just like, I'm here, I am here, I am here, and you're like, okay, dude, but it's not for me.
Well, I think I think there's a drive, I am here, I am here, I am here. I think that's a good point, right? Because, just because we don't see each other doesn't mean we don't want to express ourselves. And it doesn't mean that we don't want other people to know that we exist.
Mm.
Right? There's still that
Mm.
drive there for connection,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And some people like that face to face. Some people don't. Who's to say that they're not getting the same thing?
Right. That's what I was trying to say. Like we're talking through a phone, and other people enjoy that because they don't like the physical aspect of, some people aren't social, some people are really social, and this is a good way, I'd say, the Twitter, to, if you don't like being as social, to be somewhat social, but somewhat still, um, I guess, necessarily in a safe space. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I, it's my buddy used to call it working together alone, where sometimes we'd get together just to work, like, and he'd have something completely different than mine, right? And we wouldn't talk to each other. We would just be in the same room.
Right, but it's the fact that they're in the same room with you, kind of, that it
Yeah.
like makes them, there's an importance, or not
Mhm.
an importance, a value, I guess, with you
There
just
is.
being there.
Yeah, there was a value in just kind of sitting beside someone, knowing that they're, working on something that's important to them. You're working on something important to you. You turn around your computer, show them what you're working on, right? It's it's a strange thing you don't know you need.
Yeah, no, and then there's some people that don't even get the opportunity, I guess, to don't put themselves out there enough, but it's whatever, it's their preference, but
Well, I've noticed it a lot with the like with the 60 plus crowd that I work with, right?
Mhm.
They're like they're really starving for interaction.
Yeah, and I feel like some some people like crave the interaction like a little too much, to where, oh, there's a couple people I see in like every Twitter space, and I'm like, dude, what do you do? Like, there has to be times where like you're not doing this, like, or is this all you do? Like, I'm like, wow,
I
you're
don't know.
really dedicated, or
Um, this is
you know
Web
what I
three
mean?
now. This is Web three now. You live your whole life in this shit.
Yeah, pretty much you're
Yeah,
stuck in the meta. Once you get
yeah.
in, you're like, oh, the Matrix kind of, red pill or blue pill, which one?
Don't be a Web three hater, dog.
Oh, dude, I'm not, bro. I'm not. I'm in here with you. I'm in it together. We're in it together right now. But I'm just like, whoa. Like, I don't. If I
Yeah.
had, I guess, if I could and had the time, I'd be in Web 3 like all the time, just because it's a nice, what they're doing, and the way, the direction it's going. It's looking like a good direction, but I feel like there's gonna be definitely some twerks or some bugs along the way that they're gonna figure out.
I like that. Twerks, not tweaks, twerks.
Oh no, not the twerks. I should like I
See?
can imagine like a
What?
Web 3 guy just shaking
Like,
it all, and you're like, whoa.
and I'm not sure if anyone's come up with the NF twerk yet, but if you haven't,
Dude,
that might be an opportunity.
big brain ideas over here. Dude,
NF
I
non
last
fungible. Is it a non fungible twerk? That makes sense because I think because feel me on this. I think a twerk is like a snowflake. No two twerks are ever exactly the same. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, dude. That's crazy to me, how, like, how much snow doesn't look like it, when it's snowing, it doesn't look like, it just looks like, it's just fallen. But if you look really closely, they're like intricate patterns, and each one is like not the same pattern.
So you're saying non-fungibility existed in nature long before it existed in the human realm?
Oh my god, yeah, the uniqueness of each individual, not necessarily. I'm trying to word this right. I'm not trying to twerk it up. You know what I mean?
I like when you look it up. You know.
So each individual thing is unique in its own way, unless you have a clone. And if you have a clone, that's just different. But
Can you
each
can you imagine the controversy when they start cloning NFTs and it's like a moral thing? It's like,
yeah,
should they
they're like,
clone this
dude, I've seen this
NFT?
project before. No, it's not the same.
It's it's a clone.
It's the exact project. You said the same post just 2 minutes later. No, it's different.
It's
No,
different.
I think each individual is, it's like a unique one of one, man. It's like a unique NFT. But we just generalize the whole project as just all together instead of one each individual piece.
I wonder if like so you know how in my mind the opposite of an NFT is an NPC,
Okay, explain.
right? Because well, no, technically an NPC could be an NFT, but I imagine that if you designed a game, you might have all the bartenders kind of the same,
You walk
right?
into a bar, what would you like?
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of the weird thing about doing in-person events because you feel like uh, sometimes you don't know if you're having a real communication, a real conversation,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
You know, and
Well,
it feels real. Like all conversations kind of start off the same, and then you realize, oh, we're just going down this train tracks before you walk away and do the same thing somewhere else.
well, I've
Okay.
noticed it all depends on how much effort each person gives to the conversation. So I
Hmm.
could be the one controlling the conversation, I guess, and like leading it to somewhere. But like mostly someone has to be the, okay, I'm going to think of good things to ask or good things to talk about. And then hopefully that person, when they reiterate and come back to me, they bring something else that takes it to a whole different place or adds to what we're already talking about. I'm just awkward when I chat in person, so I just
Yeah.
choose not to really reach out. I mean, unless I don't know. I'm not usually the one to start a conversation. I mean, I will and I'll keep it going, but
I realize it's not so much that I'm awkward in person. I think I'm better on the phone.
yeah, you have a lot less shit to worry about. I mean, stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean.
No,
You
you're
have
right.
a lot. You have a lot less stuff to. Oh, I forgot you were recording, but you have a lot less stuff to worry about, dude. You just, it's not like you, because when you're in person, you can see the person's facial expressions and their reactions to what you're saying. So if you say something necessarily they don't understand, or they don't necessarily like, you're gonna see that. It's gonna reflect how they answer. But on the screen, it's kind of like you can't see people's facial expressions, so you have to go off what their tones are, or just their what how they respond, or their like, what I'm saying, man.
It's almost like the phone forces you to give the other person the benefit of the doubt, right? Because it's
I
like
like that. Yeah.
because when you're in person, you're kind of like reading their facial expressions to know if you should keep talking, right? You're like, oh shit, this person getting bored, right? But over the phone, I can't tell if you're rolling your eyes at me.
Right. So you have a. I think if not, there's more of an effort online than there is in person, because in person, if you know someone's not about the conversation, it'll be apparent through their body language and whatever. But when you're in a Web3 space and you're having a conversation with someone, it's kind of like you know when they're not into it, if they're not like
Mhm.
just reacting at all, or if they just leave, or if like it's
Yeah.
just a totally different, like, someone, if you start a conversation with someone, no one's just gonna, like, in person, in real life, no one's gonna just be like, you start a conversation and they just don't say anything and just turn around and walk the other way. Like, some half the time they'll interact with you some way. In some
Yeah.
way they'll show like that they acknowledge you, like a wave, or
Mhm.
usually they don't just like stare at you and then they just like do the awkward turn and just walk.
Let me ask Adelna. Adelna, are you better over the phone or are you better in person?
I'm better on phone than in person.
Really?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
I seem to have more courage to speak on phone rather than in person. I think it's
I love
it's
it.
how I'm made up. I can't really tell because even sometimes most when I'm going for interviews, I literally cry. Like you see me shaking all over, but even
Oh, wow.
phone interview, I'm kind of okay. So it's like in on phone, I'm okay than in person because I may be shy. I'm a very shy.
That's interesting. I mean, you brought up something interesting, which is that when we meet people online, we meet their online selves. And I think we have this assumption that their online selves are going to be the same or similar to their in person selves. And that's not necessarily the case.
Yes, that's not necessarily the case because someone might be outspoken in person, but on phone it's a different thing. Like it varies depending on how the person is. So it's not always actually the same thing when you meet the person. Yeah, that's how it is. Most of the times. For example, you may meet a new friend who on phone you may talk so much, but when you meet each other, you become quiet. Like you forgot you were the same people having a nice conversation online. Yeah, it happens.
I had that experience recently.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I had that experience where it was like, um, when I was with the other person,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like I didn't want to be around them. I did. I just didn't have as much to say. I was kind of just cool to sit there and have a drink.
Okay. But when you were on phone with the person, you were much
Oh,
okay.
yeah, it was well, not so much okay, but it was like when when we were on the phone, we would talk more, but when we were together, it was like we said out all the things we needed to say. It was like this is just a time for us to be together in silence and enjoy something, together.
Oh, okay. It happens. It happens.
I feel like in person we seek for validation, like in other aspects other than just voice communication, but then in here it's just we seek, I think, a little um we seek validation through with like just the majority of what we're saying with the our words. That's just it. But when you're in person it's totally different because we seek validation with looks, with with there's other aspects other than just words. But in the met in the met 3 in the web 3 universe, there's just a lot less stuff. There's just it's you, your PFP, your and like your voice, and that's totally different to me. Like when you're in person it's just like you get a look at this person, you get to see their facial expression, everything, about them, what makes them a person, how they act, just like. But then when it's just the voice, you can't there's no other factors other than you and this voice over this device and this
Hmm.
maybe this picture that you have, but that's really There's nothing really else to it, man. Like, I look at you and I'm like, I don't like your mustache, you know, but like, I
Yeah.
can't see if you even have a mustache. Like,
Mhm.
there's just nothing that can, I can't, there's not necessarily as much hate, I guess. I can't really judge you for anything because I
You don't.
can't see anything. I can only judge you for your words and what you say, or, you know, and so there's a whole lot less judgment, I feel like, here
Mhm.
than IRL.
I think that's a really key thing where I remember Simon Wardley said one of the things that happened when we stopped being in person is that the normal ways we would signal status to each other went away. They disappeared, right? It was
Yep.
no longer you in a three-piece suit and me in a t-shirt. It's just our voices. You don't know where I work. Maybe you know how many followers I have, but what does that mean, right? You could have an
Yeah.
account with small
Whatever.
followers, right? It doesn't matter, right? I think one of the things online is that all of those status symbols that people used to use for friggin' 2,000 years virtually disappeared. You can't stand on that three-piece suit like you used to.
Right. Who's gonna know if you have money or not? I guess here. I guess. Well, I guess
So
if
who
you're a Bored
knows?
Ape. I was kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, but like it's true though, right? Like out
Right.
here, you don't get to lord over someone with your clothes or your corner office or your nice pool or all those other, status symbols that people usually use when they're losing the argument.
Basically, the world needs more Twitter Spaces. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, technically, like, even though I started the space, all our circles are the same size.
Hey, I never asked you. How's your coffee, dude? You just took a sip when we
Oh,
started, but how is it?
let's see. Well, right now it's black because I forgot to get milk yesterday. Um, but it's great. I boil the water. I have this little French press that I use.
Oh, nice.
I find like the quietest part of my day is the moment that I'm pushing down the French press.
Ooh.
Because like nothing else, even though things might be going on, I can't do anything else in that moment, but just press down the French
Yeah.
press.
Right. That's a little bliss you got. A little
Yeah.
bliss. Sorry, that was a tangent, but we talked about that.
No.
I'm reiterating back to like, hey, how's that going? Because you were doing
Yeah.
that. So.
No, it's we would call it callback.
Oh,
in
that's good. I
stand-up.
like that. Callback.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. It's good. It's good. Now it feels like morning now.
I feel like some people just, I mean, not everybody, but some people just put themselves on the highest pedestal. And it's like, dude, if you didn't like have, like, let's just say, I feel like some people are just, hold on. Some people put themselves on a pedestal and like so high up that you're like, dude, like, if you didn't have any of that materialistic stuff, man, what would you have, man? Well, who would be left, you know? And so
Who would be left?
with Web3, like it, it just none of that stuff really matters. So like, what's left is who you want to voice yourself to be, you know. And with IRL, it's like people put themselves on a pedestal with all these materialistic things and all these things. But if you took it all down and you said you got none of that now, you know what's left. Like it's some people just there's not a whole lot left because that's all they've been working for is all that stuff, and it's like sometimes that stuff just doesn't matter. So it's definitely our society makes it important to have all these materialistic things somewhat, but those things aren't gonna, you know, they're not gonna make you a better person necessarily. You got to decide for yourself what you want to do, what you want to voice, who you want to be. But I totally went off topic. I'm sorry. I went off the
No, no,
rails,
no.
man.
We don't have a topic. I mean, this thing is called 7:08 a.m. right now, right?
Best time.
I could change it to hot topic.
No, I like this one, dude. Not many. You look at it and you're like, what does that mean?
Okay, let me change it back to 7:08 a.m.
Because they're like 708 what? 708 what?
Yeah. Sometimes I'll just put random characters or like blup blup or something. Yeah, it's I would tell my students that everyone's the same size behind the keyboard.
I don't know about that.
That's hilarious.
Sorry. Well,
No, I like it.
you
That's
said that to
funny.
your students. Did anybody question it? Was anybody like, sir?
Sir?
I don't.
No, they actually are
But
not.
in a sense, though, in a
Yeah.
sense, you're
Yeah.
correct. In a sense, yes, you're totally correct. In a sense, I was thinking more of like the physical aspect, and that's totally different. That can be totally different from what you were reiterating too. But
Are you saying that people may express themselves as larger in the metaverse than they are in real life?
I'm thinking.
I remember
I'm not.
I had a real estate broker who said, "How do you tell who's real from who's fake?" I'm like, "Well, it's kind of harder these days because everyone can buy a Wix website for $20 a month, right?
Right. Yeah.
And, in about 20 minutes, I can put together a whole web page now, because I've been doing it so much.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, let me guess, you want a video on the landing page. Right? Let me guess, you need an about us. Let me guess, you need a team page, testimonials, contact us. Right? You want a commercial, you want some pictures. All right, here you go. Oh, you want a blog? All right, well, talk to me for half an hour. We'll write 3 blogs and that'll be that.
I'm still thinking about what you said earlier, though. And I'm still trying to
Oh,
decide
about
my answer. I'm
which one?
sorry.
About everyone being the same size behind the
Yeah, everyone
keyboard?
being the same size. It's like I guess people look at size on the Web3 can be like what's your worth, what's your worth, kind of, that could be a size. But
What's your influence?
yeah, that can be like, what's your size, like what I guess just don't necessarily know what makes somebody's size in the Web3 verse different than anybody else's. It kind of feels like it's a pretty level playing field, other than like, I guess, your credibility of, like, if I looked at Gary V, and he had, he's got a lot of followers, so like,
He
we
does.
think that his words have credibility just because of his followers. I don't know
Well,
if you guys think that way, but like, I know a lot of people think that way, that they have credibility just because they have followers.
well, I think it's not so much credibility and influence have to be abstracted from each other, right? Just because
Okay.
you have influence doesn't mean you're credible and vice versa. Like a lot of people thought that as long as you have great lighting, great makeup, and great cameras, that you're credible, right? That used to be the sign of credibility. Whoever had the most HD, it's okay, trust that guy, right? I can see the pores on his face. They spend a
Right.
lot of money on this. That must mean credibility. We look the same thing like universities and colleges, right? Oh, you have a large fountain, you have a big campus, you must be trustworthy.
Subconsciously, we when we see people IRL, in real life, when we
There's
see
a
people,
signal. Yeah.
we initially, we can't help it, but we tend to just judge them like right off the bat. And in the Web3, it's really hard to just judge somebody off the bat based on their PFP.
Well, like as a recruiter, I've noticed that we hire in our own image, right?
Yep.
And, with that image kind of abstracted away, it gives us the opportunity to focus on a different part of the person, right? A part of the person that we might not appreciate as much if we saw them in real life, which is kind of the weird paradox, right? There
Yeah.
are qualities that can emerge in a non-physical setting that may not necessarily appear if that interaction would have taken place in a physical space. I know the triangle of interaction I learned from the Infinity Forge. When you and I interact, there's myself, yourself, and the environment we're in. And technically, this environment involves other people like Adelna and Thomas, right, in Alaska, right? So even their presence is influencing how we speak.
Right. Definitely. I had I had a thought, and I put it on the back burner because I was listening to what you're saying, and then I forgot it. But I'm gonna come back to it. I'm gonna remember it.
No, let's see if we can. Here, let me see if I can use music to bring it out. All right.
Yes, use the music. Oh, I remembered. That
See,
was
it worked.
good, man. That was
It
freaking
works. I'm telling
amazing.
you.
I was like, what?
Telling you.
That was crazy. Anyways, you did some magic stuff over there, didn't you? No.
That's called the seventh chord.
That's crazy. That was good. No, so I'm gonna give you a little insight to just my life without giving you insight to my life, you know. So like
Mhm.
let's say I'm talking with this girl, right? And you know, in over the phone, we're just talking over the phone. We haven't met yet, right? So we're just chatting online over the phone, and you know, we're going really really well. The banter is going back and forth. It's going really well, okay? And so we decide to meet in person, okay? And when we meet in person, that person that I met um over, you know, over the phone, not really in person yet, could be a totally different person than when that we meet in person, if that makes sense. It could be, you know, they could luckily, you know, they were the same pretty much the same as they are over the phone as in real life, but some people are totally different that it's just like, what? I
Well,
don't
I
know. I
noticed that
guess
about
I don't know
myself.
what I was trying to say, I guess, other than like I like how how you present yourself over Web3 is, I feel, very different. Can be very different. I'll reword that. Can be very different than how you present yourself in the real world.
Well, I mean, when you're in a large group, uh, you have to be self-conscious, right?
Mm,
You know what I mean? Because literally, like, if I was walking around my house the way I was, if I was at a conference, I'd be bumping into people, right?
right, right.
So, so it's impossible not to be aware of everything happening around you and kind of make sure that you don't have, ketchup on your shirt, right?
Yeah. Oh,
If there's a crumb, let's say like an extreme example, right? Let's say there's still crust in my eye, you know, that doesn't affect our conversation.
but do you feel like your words are valued more in the Web3 space because that in the aspect of that's all um a
Yeah.
majority of base of how we can, I guess, necessarily judge someone on the Web3 space. Just,
Well,
but you can't really. It's hard to even judge someone on the Web3 space because all they're doing is voicing their, you know, their opinions and what they got in their noggin. So
yeah.
it's like, but what's wrong? Nothing's wrong with that. So it's really hard. But in real life, it's like, why is the flip? Why is it different in real life than it is on Web3? I just don't understand why it couldn't be just like,
Well, the one thing that we, or at least that I took for granted, is a microphone, right? So I took a voice acting class with a guy who's in cartoons, and it's two co-founders. He's a voice actor in cartoons, and she's a mezzo soprano in like operas. And after I took the voice acting class, um, it slowed down how I spoke, right? And I found that the more I brought in the things that I learned in voice acting into my everyday life, that I actually became a lot more effective in the metaverse than in the, in real life. Because, you know, if we're both in front of webcams, then, you know, the world's never been more of a stage, right? If everything's being viewed through a fisheye lens.
Yeah. Man, I love the Web3 space.
So we have to close off the idea. Hold on. So that was the segment.
Yo, Alaska coin. No, what is it? It's Alaska coin.
Let's go.
Get in here, man. Let's hear what you have to say.
I think he's the FBI. She?
Oh, yeah, he might be. He's got a little PFD, police force department. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, it's perfect.
No. I was just looking at his page a little bit. He's got a Tesla. It looks like a Tesla truck pushing snow, and I can't tell if that's his Tesla. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
See, I'm judging him based off his PFP right now.
Mhm.
How can I judge him? I haven't even heard him talk yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're already doing it as we, sometimes we just do it nonchalantly. Like, we don't recognize it really. It's hard to recognize. Just like I'm looking at his page, and I don't
Oh,
not necessarily judging him based on his page, but I'm looking at how he presents himself in the metaverse.
so I mean, I'm looking at your profile, right? And
Exactly.
there's
Yeah,
cats
look
at the Last Supper, right? And then if I look at the
Oh, you're not following me, so you can only see my pictures.
yeah,
No, I'm
and
just
so
kidding.
now I
It's okay.
see the man bear pig
Oh, dude, this is called a quadrupus.
quadrupus. I like it.
Yeah, this. I'm not trying to show. My bad.
Mm-hmm. No, it's no. So I'm trying to
This
decide like how much
like
can I know about you from this, right?
well, this one artist, this guy the artist who made this, he doesn't have a very big collection, and he just came out with another collection, which
Mm-hmm.
is really cool to see. But yeah, and he's been in my DMs. We've been talking back and forth for a while. I tried to get him to make a nice banner that would actually look cool with this guy. Like he sent me like a personal like he made pretty much secondary concept art with this PFP I bought. Um he sent me he's privately DM'd me like a piece that he made to go with it that's like a poster pretty much, which is really cool to he's like it was pretty much a gift for buying the PFP, and I was like, that's super cool that he does that. But then I reached out to him and personally asked him, and I was like, hey, I would really appreciate, if you could make me a background that could fit, good in that banner, and so I can also give you
Right.
credit to your artwork, but have a cool. And he said he'd have it done by next week. So, he's. I was like, whoa, that's out of his own free will of his free time because I asked, and it's just cool that he would put that much effort in. Just I don't know. Yep, quadrupuses. It's pretty cool.
I like it.
It's like I was asking him about it, and it's not like a since they only have 4 arms. That's where the quad comes from, because
Mm-hmm.
there's like
Mm-hmm.
platypuses, and so that's where the quad comes from. But he does it. A lot of his stuff is based off of like already things that are already things, and he just makes them into quadrupuses. So like this is it's from an anime.
Oh, get out.
This character is based off an anime. Um, but he's got other ones that are like one of them looks like it's Drake and Rihanna, not Drake and Rihanna. Who is it?
ASAP.
Yeah, ASAP. It looks like it's ASAP and Rihanna. You know how she's all pregnant, and so there's
Yeah.
2 of them, and then there's a pregnant quad. Yeah, and then there's like a Darth Vader one. I'm saying he's just adding
I
more
just like the
limbs to
phrase
things that are.
pregnant platypus. That's funny to me.
It's 2 of them. You could tell it's them though. Like it looks like he just took he took the things that are already things, and he just threw his little quadrupus twist on them, which I thought was cool. But anyways, let's reiterate. Yeah,
No,
you're
no,
looking
no.
at my, you're looking at no, you were checking out my profile, and it got me talking. See,
Yeah. Because I started generating images using that Dolly AI. I'm not sure if you've seen it,
Mm, yeah.
but it's an AI that generates images based on just sentences you give it or short descriptions.
Oh, I saw somebody who made a whole crypto project or a whole NFT project based on just phrases that he said into this
Hmm.
pretty much AI, and they just generated like the NFTs for him, and I was like, what?
So I'm gonna so so that's what I have right now. I haven't
Maybe
really,
that was the Twitter talk. There was been
maybe
multiple Twitter talks.
yes,
I've been in
maybe that's
multiple
what we
Twitter
were
talks that
talking
you've
about.
had, but there was one. I don't even know if you were there, but there was one Twitter talk where the guy was talking about that and a bunch of his. He's like, give me 3 phrases. He's like Spider
Yes,
Man.
that's the conversation. So the cool thing is now you're going to see the evolution of this. So I've just posted it to the top. So I created the OpenSea project, and you can see some of the images.
Yeah, this was okay. So we were. It was a different Twitter talk, and then it was this one. I've
Hmm.
been in multiple. Okay,
So there's
that
three.
was you. Okay.
Yeah, so there's 3 NFTs there. One is an example. The other one is a lookbook, and the other one is a virtual art gallery.
I see. So you've been generating.
I already had them all created. I've just been busy playing steel pan and DJing and all this other shit.
That's awesome.
But I have like a good 35 to 50 images that I've created that I've upscaled, all that kind of stuff, and you can see them in the art gallery.
So you can. Yeah, I'm looking at. I was trying to look at the video collection one.
Mhm.
So you can just like pretty much put in phrases in different orders, and does it get different images, or are they the same images
Oh,
if you do the
yeah.
word? So let's say if you do Spider-Man, Raging Bull, and potions or something. You know, I don't. That's just. I'm just saying
No,
where.
I like
But
it.
if you put the words in a different order, does it create a whole different image, or does it
Well,
only create that image based on what's? It doesn't matter what order, just based on those.
well, here's the beautiful thing. Every time, every time you use the software, you can set parameters on its interpretation of your words. That's where you can get the variation,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So let me see if I can find um
So you put in what you want to put in, but then you're selective of the images that you choose to use.
no, not only that, it's let me so what I'm gonna do is let me retweet this again. So the idea of
Okay.
the basic project is that when you get the NFT, I show you how to do this, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the idea that it's decentralized from the jump, because I'm going to show you how to do exactly what I'm doing. So, for
Whoa.
example, you said that you wanted
Oh no, don't do it. Don't do the Spider-Man. I'm over. I just used him as an
Spider-Man,
example. Don't do Spider-Man.
Raging Bull.
You
Um,
like mushroom? No, don't do Spider-Man. I'm sick of seeing Spider-Man. But you can do
okay,
it. Just do it for the sake of this. You can do it for the
okay,
sake of this because I
okay.
already said
So
it.
give me the phrase. Give me the phrase. Whatever phrase you would like.
Mushroom melting potion. That's it.
Mushroom melting potion. Now, can you describe to me the art style that you would like?
Um, let's do some. I'm trying to think. A cartoon. Do they have cartoon styles like a
Oh,
19
yes,
something
yes,
cartoon style? Do they have
yes,
that? I
yes,
forget what.
exactly.
I'm trying to think of what era. What would be like the ones where they came out. You know what the tea? What's that called? It was a game where these little 2 teacups were playing against people, like that kind of style of cartoon, but it's like not a Mickey Mouse kind of cartoon, kind of. Do you know what? Yeah.
Um,
I know the year. I can just hold on 1 second. I'll look up the
You
year.
talking about Salvador Dali?
1940s cartoon style. Yeah, you could do like a 1940s because that's when they came out with all those. They came out with yeah, where they had those. That's when they came out with like Popeye and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Magoo. You know, all those old ones. That kind of cartoon style, I guess that would be cool. Felix the Cat, like 1930s, 1940s. That's a good
Mm-hmm.
range when they first started coming out with cartoons, the initial style. So if they have that kind of cartoon style, that'd be
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm running the AI right now.
oh Jesus.
So it's just starting up. By the way, I'm recording this as well. So this can be like your own.
I forgot you were recording again.
Sometimes I forget too. And I'm like, did I just, all right.
Dude,
So,
I hope somebody, like watches this recording and they're like, wow, that was actually a pretty cool talk. No, it
well,
has been a cool talk, man. I'm glad Alaska coin. How do I say this? Alaska Bashi. There it is.
Alex Kobayashi.
I'm glad that he's been here, through the thick. He got in just after the coffee start sips, and
Yeah. So let's start up the NVIDIA. Okay, so the NVIDIA started up. We're using an NVIDIA chip. Now what we're going to need to do is
and you're saying anyone can do this, is what you're saying. Anyone can make this and do what you're doing right now. Anybody can, is what you're saying.
I am confident that after I show you how to press play, oh, I have to do something else. I also have to show you how to um, convert English to Russian because it understands Russian. English to Russian translator. So you go into Google and you type in what am I using? Melting potion made out of mushrooms painted in the style of 1940s Popeyes cartoon.
Dude, anything. I just threw in the words. I threw in a mushroom word and I melting and then potion. But that was just, I don't know. You can do whatever.
Yeah, I want to give it. I want to put some meat on the bones so we can
Dude, I
understand.
feel like
Right?
that's gonna be a hard interpretation to do though. Like a melting. There's only one aspect. It's the mushroom. That's the concept. But like the
So,
melting potion concept, it's gonna be like, I don't know. I just don't know what it's gonna make.
so what if we just focus on melting potion mushrooms?
There we go. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
done. So that's what I have now. What I'm doing now is that we're 88% of um, preparing the model. Now, the beautiful thing about all of this is I don't know how to do anything in AI. If you gave me code, I'd be like, now what?
What
You
is
know,
that? I was like,
what is that?
yeah,
Dude,
no.
I tried to install Python the other day, it didn't work. I tried to install like Go the other day, Go language, that didn't work either, right?
Mm.
But the beautiful thing is Google has created this kind of like web environment where you just like say, hey, I want you to run Python, and it does it. And it has all of the dependencies and all that stuff that I don't understand, right? It just works.
Dude, yeah.
So my goal is to show other people how to do what I'm doing,
It's really
um,
cool.
so they can do it themselves.
They have do they have tutorial videos on how to do this online then?
That's what I'm creating right now.
Dude,
We
that's what
speak.
I was questioning. I was like, are you making the tutorials or are
No,
you or
I'm doing the whole thing.
that's what I was I was wondering. I was like, dude, you look like the only person who's really I guess I haven't heard anything else other than what you've said about this, you know?
Hmm. Well, I mean, most people are kind of keeping this close to the chest if they know
Right.
how to do it, right? There's no incentive to kind of give away this information, but I guess because I'm in education and e-learning, it's like, wow, this is a perfect opportunity. I can show people how to get their feet wet with AI in an uncomplicated way that's completely online. So I know that whether they're on a Mac or a PC, it'll run because they're just using their Gmail because it's Google, right?
It's a pretty awesome thing though. To be
I'm
able
at
to,
5%. 5%. I have no idea what it's going to give me back. That's kind of the beautiful thing about this 7%.
dude, I bet it's gonna make some crazy stuff because I don't even think I right now my mind can't even fathom like an idea of what I think it would look like. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't even like I'm trying to think of what I have a picture in my head of what all those words coming together means, but
Oh,
I know it's going to be totally different from what this AI is going to make. And that's kind of that's a cool it's like a cool thing to think about just how like more how much more construct and how much more not thought out but like how just computers work way different than human minds and I think that's really cool.
well, it's just like a human being. What you're really doing by interacting with this AI is it's developing a relationship. So the first time you put in something, like for example, right now we're putting in melting potion mushrooms, right? And I translated it to Russian using Google Translate, and now it's working away. I have no idea what it's going to do. But the first time I get the picture back or the set of pictures back, I can say, what if I tweaked this? What if I, twerked, right? Twerked. What if I twerk this? Or what if I twerk that? And that's where the relationship starts, right? There's this
Okay, yeah.
other AI I've been using called 6B dot. It's called Eleuther.
So are these
So
all in like Russian?
no, not this one.
Oh, okay, all right. I was gonna say, dude, am I gonna have to use Google Translate a lot? Like,
No, you won't. So let me ask you this: Can you, if you were going to talk to a being who knew everything there was to know about the universe, what would you ask it?
why? Just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good
What would
question.
I ask it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions that come to mind when when like just things that I guess I wouldn't know the answer to. So I'm like, um, what's the general picture? What's the what's how, there's just a lot, man. There's like how
Yeah.
did this? What did this? Why did this?
So give me one question.
Okay.
This being knows everything there is to know about everything.
Where does this all stem from?
Where does
That's
this?
it. That's it. I mean, it's got to come from somewhere, but where did this all stem from? This whole everything of everything. Where did it stem from?
I am processing it. Um, let's see how we have about 28% left on this model. Not bad. Where does this all stem from? How did we get to where we are today? The Russian Revolution of 1917 and the subsequent birth of the Soviet Union were the first time that the world had seen a government that was not only run by the working class, but was also a worker state. It was also the first time that people could go to the polls and vote for a political party. In Russia, the Bolsheviks, the communists, had won the elections and had the power to govern. the Russians had voted for a workers' government. So
you're reading this based off of what you asked.
based off of the answer that it gave me,
Wow.
the revolution had taken place on February 24th, 1917, and was named after the first Bolshevik, Vladimir Ilyich Lenin. The Bolsheviks won by a landslide, gaining over 80% of the vote, 33% left. The other parties were the Mensheviks, the Social Democrats, the left Social Revolutionaries, the right Social Revolutionaries, the Anarchists, and the Socialist Revolutionaries. Kind of sounds like a lot of this decentralized folks, right?
Yeah.
The Bolsheviks became the first Marxist party to win an election, and they formed the Russian Soviet government.
So this is talking about how like the governments and how all the society as a whole, instead of people just living, and being, their people doing whatever, with trade. This is talking about how it like the government and how the system got started. Is that what it's?
Yeah. So let's ask it a different question. Let's be more specific. Right? Because now we're learning how the AI interprets.
Right. Okay.
So give me something more specific now.
Man, this is trying to think. You having to use my big brain today. Pull it out on a Monday. He said. I said okay. Let's say, we said before. We said where did it all stem from? But what about how did it all come to be? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, dude.
What about how did the universe come to be?
What do you think? What do you think would be a better way to phrase that to get different information?
How did the universe come to be?
Dude, I already know that. I was gonna say Big Bang or something, and then evolution.
The topic of the origin of the universe is a very important and interesting one to consider. It is one of those questions that we want to know the answer to, but we also don't want to know the answer. We are fascinated by the question because it is the ultimate, in a way, Big Bang question. However, it is also a question that has many layers and complexity that we need to consider before we get to the core. To start, we need to understand how the universe came to be. I know this sounds like an odd question, but it is important. Now, what I can do is, it gives me answers in chunks. So what I can do is I can feed back the answer back into the model, and it'll continue. We do not know if there was another universe that came before ours. But if there was, we have no idea about it. However, even if there was, it would not have any effect on our current universe, because the universe is not static. The universe is continually expanding, which means that it is constantly changing. We do not know how the universe started, but we do know that the universe is expanding. We know this because of the Hubble telescope. 47%.
This is crazy, man.
You know what? So the telescope is located in the space between the Earth and the Moon. The telescope is used to study the expansion of the universe, and we used it to measure the distances of objects in space. It's also used to measure the distances of galaxies and the distance of stars. Wow. So now it's just going to the detail in terms of how we came to know what we currently believe. So it said, how did it all begin? I don't know. What it can say is that the universe is expanding. Fair enough, AI. Fair enough.
Dude, yeah, I knew it wouldn't know that. Nobody knows that. So like all the information that we've come together and come to know, the only answer is the universe is expanding.
I'm going to ask it directly. How does Eleuther AI believe the universe came into existence? It's kind of like an interview. 53%.
Oh, dude, it's still generating those.
No, how did Eleuther AI believe? How does Eleuther AI believe the universe came to existence?
It's gonna be like you AIs
Eleuther,
don't believe in anything. They just are a makeup of. It's just gonna. I don't know what it's. I don't know.
Eleuther AI believes that a single point in the universe came into existence. The universe is infinite, therefore it came into existence from nothing. Eleuther AI believes that it is a probability, that the universe is a set of probabilities that have converged and exist. The universe is a simulation, therefore the universe came into existence from nothing. What's funny is that you can see it going through like a logical set of statements, right?
Yeah.
And trying to set up pillars or axioms upon which to build.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I like that though.
Yeah.
Eleuther AI believes that it is a probability, that the universe is a set of probabilities that have converged and exist. That's as good as I've ever heard it explained.
Wow. No. Yeah. What?
Jesus. You asked. So what I can do as a bonus is I'll add this Eleuther AI. Into the tutorial. 60%.
I just
I'll take
watched it. I just watched a video of this one guy. It was a TikTok video, and he says, why do they gotta separate people based on race? I don't understand that. But he said black people say one thing nice about white people, and like the whole video was a whole minute long video of someone just sitting there in silence pretending to think. And I was like, dude, why you gotta I don't understand why they gotta divide like that. They want us to divide. That's never mind. So all their whole like why I don't understand why
That
people
was the
can't just like
funniest.
be like, hey, you're a fellow human being, like
That was
let's
the
get
funniest stuff I've ever heard. They want us to, but never mind.
you did I mumble that? I'm sorry, man. That was good.
It's so funny to me because it's like they want us to divide. You know what? Never mind.
That's because I was
Like
bringing politics and stuff.
no,
Like they just like I don't get why we have to separate yourself and be like, "Yo, I'm white. Oh, I'm black. I'm Asian. I'm Hispanic." Like, who the fuck cares? You're a human being that lives on this earth, man. That's awesome. That's something we should celebrate, and we should just unify together based on your human kind. I love humans, man. I love everybody, and I just don't. I just don't like to see how some people can just be like just based on all these things of what they're just based on all these things that they just can't be your friend. You're like, what? Language
honestly,
barriers are a thing, but I'm just
no. My wifey says hurt people hurt people.
it's like, no, what do you mean? Everybody's our people. I was like, dude, the fact we're all living on this place should say, hey, we're all in this together. We can't. It's like, okay, dude, go somewhere else. Like, if you don't want to be here, go somewhere else. You can't. Like, there's nowhere to go. You're just stuck here with us. So you might as well like make this place a better place instead of just let's just divide. That makes everything better. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't, man. If we were all like, well, okay, let's say
No,
this:
I like this.
if the
I like
whole
this
world
because
was
it's like,
under one order, one government, it
mhm.
would be a messed up government, though, wouldn't it?
Well, the idea is that the way that our culture evolves is based on our geography.
Mm.
Someone living in New York or California will not agree with someone in Arkansas. because their economy is different, their land is different, right? Everything's different. Even though they might be arbitrarily in the same country, speaking arbitrarily the same language, those are two different human beings.
Right.
And they might as well be in different countries. They might as well be different countries.
Why aren't they? Why aren't they though? Why?
For, say, security purposes. If you're going to secure North America, you have to have a cohesive government.
Right, and that's the messed up thing about America is they shouldn't be that because of how divided they are. They should just be their own separate countries in each state.
Well, that's what you see happening politically and legally and regulatorily right now, where different states are saying, you know what? Although we will remain a part of the US, we actually want certain laws to reflect the beliefs and values of our Arkansas people, not California people,
Yeah,
not New York people. And I think that's a problem. I might not like how people want to change the law in Texas. You know, there's all this abortion talking, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I'm not about to go over to Texas and tell them how they should value life in Texas. That's up to them.
So you're gonna get those people that like that stuff, and they're gonna want to go down and like be in that, I guess, country. I just
Right? Yeah.
They keep. I live in the U.S. and it's just like, dude, like we don't have to be all one nation. We don't have to. I feel like it would be more beneficial to us, and we'd grow more as a country if we not separated, but had like different states was a different country that can govern themselves. I think that would be it.
But I think that's emerging right now, right? When you look at the laws of Florida, when you look at the laws of Texas compared to the other places.
Oh, in a sense, yes.
Yeah, in a sense, it's already happening. We had a political and medical schism, essentially, right? A political and medical schism.
Yeah.
And so, the Holy Roman Empire is now dividing in terms of the way I guess they want to interpret the Nicene Creed. You ever heard of the Nicene Creed?
The Nicene. Here, let me look. I have not.
Is it
like a philosophy or ethics? Or?
No. Well, kind of. It's in early Christian times, there wasn't an agreement of Jesus's. Like, how do you explain Jesus's divinity, right? And in early Christianity, different people had different interpretations on his relationship with God and blah, blah, blah. And so the Nicene Creed was when all these people got together and said, this is what we're going to believe in as a group.
Oh, dude, it's pretty much, what is it, Lutheran? What the heck?
Yeah, the God, the Father, we believe in, God, Father.
I'm reading it right now. I mean, I had to look it up because I was like, Nicene. I haven't heard of that. I haven't heard of it called that.
It's called something else.
I haven't heard of called this.
The devotional or whatever, the liturgy, they have different words.
Yeah, so they came up with their own little interpretation of that and put it to words. I mean, and put it to a creed.
Imagine you had 5 different groups in early Christian times that, there's no, I mean, I guess technically there is a cohesive Bible, but maybe there's Bibles that have certain books. Maybe people say, oh, we should include this or we shouldn't include that. So I think during the Nicene Creed too, they determined what would be canon. Right. Okay. So what was it that was removed? Like, was it Timothy? Thomas? I think it was Thomas. Right?
The book of Timothy. Yeah. No, the book of Thomas. It was Thomas.
Yeah. The Gospel of
Timothy's definitely still in there.
Mm-hmm. Thomas. And then when you meet Timothy, they're talking about like, demigods, which sound kind of like the Greek Titans. They have dragons, all that kind of stuff or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know where this all stemmed from. Wow, we've been all over the place today, but this is good.
Well, we're also at 82%.
Well, it's different when it's intellectual conversation than just like, hey, how you doing today? Oh, I'm good. How are you? Oh, I'm good. What are you up to? That's kind of like, I feel like that is like surface stuff, like just like, you know, just a conversation. But like when you really get into it and you have intellectual conversations with people, you really like dive. I guess this is more deeper thinking,
Well,
deeper
it's,
processing.
I mean, what the learner learns is a function of what they already know, right? So I understand, like, I think I'm just looking for a different type of interaction, right? So people came and left this chat, and that's completely fine with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I'm on a vein of thought and I want to see it through, right? And then we shared that same space from before, and now we're developing melting mushrooms,
Melting mushroom potions. Like, weird.
cooking dinner and breakfast.
I just feel like there's more value and things you can learn about yourself and from other people, like when there's more intellectual conversations, because maybe there wasn't something, a thought that I thought of before, but having this conversation brought up a thought that like I've never had before, and then I question and I think about it and ponder it, and then I you know, gotta look it up, gotta do more research about it and be more knowledgeable. It just kind of like it I don't know, I like learning, man. It's really nice to like, I like being knowledgeable, but man, reading sucks. No, I'm just kidding. um if you think about it, our brains are just little mini supercomputers that we only utilize 10 to 12 if we're lucky, but we only utilize 10% of it, which is crazy for me to think that like there's so much potential with our brains, and they're telling us we can't comprehend it enough or use it enough, and that we only really use 10%.
Um,
Have you ever heard that statistic?
I've heard it before, but it's it reminds me of when I was in sociology class, and our professor said he had this phrase called a cultural automaton. And he said a cultural automaton occurs when someone is only being exposed to one culture or one mode
Mm,
of thought. And so, from a thought process perspective, they're kind of calcified in how they interpret the world, right?
mm,
And that can be like it's kind of like Bertram called it the mechanical encrusted upon the living, right? Where
yeah.
yes, we are living unless we are limitless. At the same time, our brain chemistry existed, but we didn't choose where we were born, so that's arbitrary,
Mm,
right? You know,
yeah.
I didn't choose my parents, I didn't choose my friends, I didn't choose any of that stuff. I didn't choose my skin color.
It
And how
sounds
much
like
of that?
you were born into it, man. It sounds like you were just, you didn't ask to be born, you just were. I was g-
Well, who among us asked for what they were given, right? You know what I
right.
mean?
We're just fortunate to be here in the now.
Super fortunate. Super fortunate. 93%. Like, look at me. I'm using AI right now. That probably puts me in the top 1.1%, right?
Yeah. I guess it does.
Right? You know, but that's because I have access to electricity, which it doesn't exist everywhere,
Whoa.
right?
Yeah.
You know,
I was just looking at I was looking at a
consistent.
mouse brain compared to our brain and how it looks, and they have a bigger what is it, cerebral cortex. They have a way bigger cerebral cortex than we do.
You
But
ever look into
we have a lot of other things though. But
you ever look into a dolphin's brain or an
what is
orca?
it? Just mush? No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
it has a larger emotional center.
I'm gonna look at this.
So one of the companies I was working with, they created an
Oh,
AI.
whoa! Holy jeez!
So one
Yeah.
of the companies I was working with, they created an AI based on the dolphin biosonar signal intelligence system. What they would do in Hawaii is they would drop objects into the water and count how many clicks that the dolphin sent out to recognize the object with the right amount of granularity. And then they derived the model and then they started applying it to human documents. And it started generating all of these meaningful insights. Like it found who was sleeping with each other in the company. It found who was doing mortgage fraud, all this stuff. And it turns out that like humans communicate in departments. Like we have pods, and in those pods and the departments, they have their own language, their own nomenclature.
It almost looks like the orcas, or I guess a bottlenose dolphin or the orcas have like a third section almost. That's crazy. Sorry, I was looking at this diagram and it has a bunch of brains. Like the chimpanzee brain, our brain looks just a little bigger. Like some of the parts look a little bigger, but it looks basically the same. But then the bottlenose dolphin, their brain is like our two sections, but then it's got a third section kind of on the top. And it's like, what? Sorry, all right. I'll come back to the combo.
No. We're at 100%. Oh my god!
Is it crazy though? Is it crazy?
Oh my god!
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
No, the image just generated.
Oh gosh.
Oh, sometimes running this AI in real time is kind of like presenting software on stage, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're just like, yo, you worked last time. You better not blue screen of death me, eh? I'm doing this in front of people now. So don't fuck around. Don't ruin my fucking reputation with your blue screen of death, you asshole. All right. So you ready for it?
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was laughing at what you read. That was funny. You're like, I'm doing it now.
Stories going back to the audience. Give a shit about.
Do you like it? Do you like what it generated?
I am proud of what it generated. Oh, so if you accept my connection request, I'm going to send you the thing.
Connection request. How do you do that?
Because I followed you.
Oh, you don't follow me, do you? Here,
I'm following you now.
You are. I have to accept it. I'm sorry.
Ooh,
I have to accept it before. Because what happens is a bunch of bots will follow me and they'll want to follow back kind of thing. And so I look at people's profiles before I accept and make sure they're not bots. Because let's say I look at their feeds. I like to look at people's feeds and make sure they're not just botting and they actually are a person. So okay, yep, you can message me now.
Okay.
You can unfollow me after this if you want.
No. What's funny is I ran a script to unfollow everyone about a month ago, just because it was getting too much. Okay, you ready for it?
Yeah. Do you want me to send you a message, or did you already try to?
No, I'm about to send you one. So you asked for melting potion mushrooms.
Yeah.
Right? And I took that phrase and I brought it over to the AI and I to the Google Colab notebook, ran all of the stuff just by pressing play. And now we have the image. So let's get your reaction.
This is crazy. This is gonna be wild, I bet. I see my brain right now can't comprehend. I have what in my brain what I think it's gonna look like. Holy jeez, this is whoa. Dude, these are whoa. Sorry. These are sick, man. I did not see this coming at all, man. I didn't wow. My brain didn't interpret what I said like that. I did not. These are all just abstract. These look really cool. Wow.
Would you like to learn?
An AI put this together?
Would you like to learn how to do this yourself?
I think I'm gonna have to because this is the second time I've seen this ish, and it's been good ish. Yes. That's wild, man. They're not even. I can't even. What? That's wow. Wow. Yeah, I should. I should just. Yeah. Why do you have classes or?
Yeah, no, I do. I actually,
Is it on your? You have YouTube or what's? How do you
yes, I teach mostly online. But between me and you, like I've been asked to
What
teach at
up?
a few colleges.
Oh
But
wow,
yeah, it just started happening recently because
that's awesome.
you know, with the pandemic, um, with everything going online, like I've been a recruiter, but I wanted to understand code,
Hmm.
right? I really did want to understand code. And so every time I try to code, it always ends horribly, like just horribly, right? And so
Yeah.
I'm always kind of striving to be able to slowly, let me try to do this. Let me try to do this. Oh, it failed. Let me ask for help. Like I was trying to install uh, Go, the programming languages, so I could download Twitter Space audio files directly without
Oh
going into
wow.
the archive. And it failed for me, but I'm still trying. I'm still, making comments, asking people for help, all that kind of stuff. Falling forward.
Well, yeah, I actually went into Twitter Space, and it was a bunch of Ukrainians and Russians, and they were all shilling their projects. And I definitely couldn't understand what they were saying, but I just kept throwing hearts at times. But like, I was like, dude, I wonder. Like, so I was looking at the chat log, and I'd like look up part of what they were saying just to look. But I was like mostly interested in they got some cool projects, man. But I just couldn't even understand them. But it was cool that they were
There,
shilling their projects, and I could
there's a
see them at
whole
the top. But
there's a whole world of people who do not speak English, and if you can figure out how to translate what they're saying, you have access to gold, silver, bronze, platinum. Man, like
there,
remember
I've
reading the Web3 article by the Japanese guy. I'm like, what the shit is this? This is the clearest article I've ever heard in my life. Oh, you want to make another image?
um I've just noticed that a lot of the I guess Ukrainian and like the Russian projects have been more like art based off of like nudity art and like they're just throwing a totally different spin on like what we think I guess as Americans as NFTs. Like with I think of it, the NFTs as like kind of like a not a cartoony, but like it's just definitely like a I haven't seen that many just like pictures of NFTs, like just pictures.
I'm gonna make another image right now.
All right.
Black goddess from Egypt, painted in the Nahonga Japanese watercolor style.
Oh, you love that style, man.
I love it. Yeah.
It is a good style. I'm not saying it's not. I was just like, did you
Oh,
put in what for mine for all those abstract ones? What did you put as the style of it? Did you do the cartoon one?
so I can do that now. So what did we have? What was it before?
I thought it was 1930s cartoon style, but
Oh, I didn't put that in. I just put in the three words at the
oh,
start.
dude, I'm still like this still looks really cool. I like the one where it looks like it's like in a vase with a bunch of rocks by it. Never mind. A bunch of them look. Wow, this is crazy, man. They look like watercolors almost. Like somebody painted them. They're super abstract and super cool though. So yeah, anybody can. That's cool.
I'm gonna do your Popeyes cartoon now.
You think it'll make it though, and not be abstract like that? Because I know
What?
you're still doing your what you would call it? Aren't you still doing your um goddess one?
Well, no. I was just typing in options as we were speaking, and so I decided to put the what's happening now? Melting potion mushrooms drawn in the style of Popeyes the cartoon.
Okay.
4%. I'm looking at this mushroom thing right now, and this third one is breaking my brain in half. That's crazy. Well, if you know anyone who wants to get on the ground floor of an NFT project, then we can create the DAO or whatever.
Well, the funny thing is, I've been collecting. I guess I've wanted to like make a project. Like eventually, that's the goal of me to make my own project. Like I'd
So,
really love to have that and have that opportunity, but I'm just collecting ideas right now. What I want it to be, and
mhm,
try to actually think through
mhm,
things before I start to
mhm.
get a team together or get people that.
Well, the way I looked at it, that was that the number one obstacle to having your own NFT project that you would be proud of is that you're not an artist. Neither am I, right? And so, how do you create something, right? Of value, right? And I was like, okay, so if I create this digital art, does that have value? Not necessarily. But if I could show other people how to do what I did, then I think that there could be value in that,
Oh yeah, dude.
right? Do what you want with it. This thing is still recording, by the way. I should stop it. Okay, let me save it.
I was like, dude, let's get a little into it, huh? No.
No, it's so web M to MP4. The beautiful thing is that what I'm going to do is I'm going to sync up this Twitter space with um the recording. So this could be the whole tutorial. Just us chatting.
What?
Select file,
So
go to MP4. 21%. Fantastic.
I had. Oh wait, you're still recording. Never mind.
No, no, no. It's
This is
okay.
like top secret info that I was gonna share, but then I realized I remembered. But it was a concept idea that I've had for like a while, and I don't think it's been, from what I can tell, it hasn't been done before. So I don't know if you've seen those. There's like really simple NFTs, and there was this one, and it was called I think it was called Frank Frank. That's all
Mhm.
it's called. And it was like literally just like a bear walking, like a polar bear looking animated polar bear thing walking. But it was like the animation style of like computer and not like cartoon animation. It was more like a computer, um, like graphics design kind of like, I'm trying to think, like it looked rough. It looked rough, but like it still was really cool. And there was I'm trying to think of another project kind of like that one that had another. Um, it was kind of simplistic like that. Yes, people were liking it so much because it was so simplistic, and like all it was this little polar bear looking thing walking, and they just went for people went crazy, and they're going for at one point they were going for like $3,000, and I was like, holy crap! I was like, why? But um yeah, there's a lot of cool projects out there. There's some of them that like I'm like, okay, this is just a knockoff project of that project, but it's still a cool project. But it's like, you look like a rug. You know what I'm saying? Not you, but I'm saying just
Mhm.
like there. I saw this one. It was a knockoff of the Board 8 Yacht Club. There's a lot of those going around. Um, and it was just like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, but they were just fat, and I was like, "This is what?" And I was like, "This looks like a rug," but
Well,
you can never.
I mean,
I've gotten to a rug before, and it's not a good
well,
time.
they say you can be both. There's two ways to lose. You can be too early or too late.
Mm,
So technically, equity is every successful equity goes from unicorn in short run to shitcoin in the long run, right?
right.
That's the life cycle of an equity, right? They say the S&P 500 cycles every 10 years, right? And so, like a lot of people look at Dogecoin as a shitcoin. Some of my friends funded their entire companies with Dogecoin's rise and told the
Mm.
investors that they didn't need their money anymore, right? I even made a shirt for my buddy and it said funding secured with a big Dogecoin on the shirt,
Hey,
right?
there we go. Yeah.
So everywhere he goes is like, yep, I don't need your money, right? And it was, so he, he was early enough, right?
Right.
He was early enough. And it's just one of those things where if you're too early, you can look like a fool. If you're too late, you can look like a fool, right?
Whoa. I don't know if I trust this. Yeah, they look way too early.
Now,
The
you know,
collection. Who makes a collection of 1,111? That's such a small collection.
I like, what I noticed when I was flipping through TikTok the other day is that, oftentimes when I go down a rabbit hole, I'm looking to experience the same thing slightly differently,
Mm,
you know? Right? With the TikTok, soundtracks, you can listen to the same soundtrack to different videos, right?
mm-hmm.
And while you might look at this and say, it's not high res, um, it does have a certain charm to it, right? Um, and I think they're cute, right? They're fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
The fuzzy, see that texture of it? They say humans create, Richardson said this, we create technology to recreate the human experience. And I can't imagine that, we are looking at a predator walk towards us,
Mm.
right? And if you saw this predator walk towards you, you'd probably run because this thing can run faster than you can.
Oh yeah.
And so, from a visceral, animalistic, hunter gatherer perspective, right?
Right.
I can, we make decisions emotionally and rationalize them logically.
It's interesting.
49%, 51%.
How many is it like generating? Is it just generating?
I mean, I could change it to generate 400 images if I wanted to
Oh,
instead of
okay.
four. Yeah, they're just parameters. So once you get into the AI, you can say the first parameter is, or the first type of instruction is the text. And
Mm.
then the next instruction is what is the aspect ratio? What are the dimensions? So what do you want me
Mm.
to create? What's the size? How many should I create? And how closely should I follow your instructions? How much degrees of freedom would you like to give me as the artist to come up with my own ideas and interpret or misinterpret in the right direction? Right? Because I think,
Right.
the AI took your description, right? And it decided, according to degrees of freedom, how literally to take your instructions. right? So there's two parameters on the AI. It's top underscore K and top underscore P. And you can play around with those parameters to get more and more abstract or more and more what's the opposite of abstract? Concrete.
Simplistic. No. Abstract. Plain. Simple. I don't know. Not abstract.
I like not abstract. All right. So I think our tutorial has just finished creating.
Oh, heck yeah.
Right. So now that I have the tutorial, all I do is drag that into Adobe Premiere.
It says, how does it try it yourself?
Amazing. What are we at? 58%. Oh man, this came out clear too. So I'm going to call this Nihon AI Collection Tutorial with.
So
right.
this is that tweet you pinned up talk. Oh, that's your collection. Okay. Hold on. I'm looking. Hold on. Yeah. Nope, that's the playlist. I'm gonna just have to go to your page. You don't need expensive clothes to look cute. Then why are you wearing expensive clothes? What? So I saw a post that was just like, you don't need expensive clothes. Yeah, I said it pretty much. And then she's wearing expensive clothes, and I'm like, that totally goes against your What? Do you know what you're wearing right now? You're wearing some designer, bro. Like, why? And then you say that? Like, it's their life. Live it. I just wish they were more like, you don't have to wear designer clothes. I mean, we technically, I mean, we were born into this world naked. You know, I don't know how you were born. I didn't come out with a full suit on. I'll tell you that.
I like the commercial for a fashion line being, "We were born in this world naked."
Just like,
Right?
just be a nudist. No, I'm just playing.
I
I
see why.
think that the world, if it wasn't so sexualized, partly, I feel like we could definitely, there'd be a lot more nudists. But I mean, nudists, if they want to be nudists, they can be nude. You know, anybody can do anything really. But I guess as a society, we just always wear clothes now because that's how it's supposed to be. You know.
Well, it's also because we were given the gift of shame.
Yeah, we were given a lot more than that, man. We were given a lot more than that, but you're like, yeah, you want to mess up your life a lot bunch? Here, I'll just give you all the ingredients to do it. I was like, okay.
Are
No.
you saying that the Garden of Eden can become hell?
I think it wait, what? Dang.
You saying that the human beings can turn the Garden of Eden into hell?
I think they turned it to they turned it into something else than what it was. It was something really nice and wonderful and bliss, and I think they turned it into something that was not supposed. It wasn't supposed to be interpreted in that. It wasn't supposed to get to that point. But you know, we can't help ourselves because you know we're not. That's why we're here. You know what I mean? We're not worthy enough to, I guess, necessarily be where the others are. You know, we're not. I don't know, dude. Honestly, it's just like it's a bunch of unknowns. It's a bunch of faith and like what ifs and.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you have to decide for yourself what you want to decide or believe or do, or it's all based on what you. No one's gonna force you to believe in something. No one's gonna force you to You're the person that gets yourself up every day. You're the person that opens your eyes. No one else is like making you do any of that. No one's making you go into the space, man. It's your free will, your will to do what you want to. Like, and that is a beautiful thing, and we're fortunate to just be able to control this vessel to where we can. I just think it's so cool how the world has, like, we say it's advanced so much when really it's like, I think it's just we've created ways to become more convenient, but it's just like the same.
Humans haven't, I mean, we haven't changed as much as our environment and our tools have.
Mm. Yeah, the environment stayed the same the whole time. You know, it's kind of hard to change the whole planet. You know.
I mean, it's difficult enough to change yourself, let alone everything else that's out there.
Man, I still
You know?
struggle. Yeah, keeping up with myself, dude. It's like how, we're living and doing all these things, and there's so many factors to what we have to do. There's so much steps, and it takes so much time. But it's like, that's a lot of stuff, man. I just get overwhelmed sometimes with how I just get really deep in thought, and I'm like, whoa. It's like, whoa, maybe I need to take a step back here. Getting too deep.
There is a danger of getting too deep, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I think so, at least.
Those are great. So, I now have the tutorial set up in my machine. So I think what I'll do is I'll take this conversation that we have, and then I'll create the commercial. Right?
They're gonna be like,
And then,
"What the heck was that guy on?"
yeah,
They're gonna be like, I know what So You Want To is saying, but what the
mhm,
heck is this other guy saying?" No.
yeah. So we'll do it up. I'll create the commercial, put out the commercial. We'll see what happens. The thing is, like, I would like to see the project succeed, but to me, the project has already succeeded because we're having this interaction right now,
Mm,
which is, you know what I mean? You don't know how to use AI. I don't know how to use AI all that much, but I know a bit more than you do. And if I
right.
just show you how to do it and then create the tutorial, now I have the MP4 and I can show you how to do it. And so, if it can help you do something that's meaningful to you, then great. There's utility there.
That's
Right?
awesome.
You're impressed by it. You want to use it yourself.
So
Maybe,
this is your project then.
Mhm.
This right here, teaching people about AI. This is your NFT project.
Yes,
And
exactly. Yeah,
that's cool.
this is
That's cool.
personally mine. Nobody else. Yeah.
That's cool.
hmm to be honest, I've tried to involve some other people, but not everyone, you know,
Yeah,
wants
no,
to get
you're
involved.
always
So it's like, it's all good.
with everything, you're always gonna get that. You know, there's always gonna be somebody who's like, I don't know about that, and but the ones that want to know and are curious to know and want the knowledge they're gonna present themselves, I should say. They're
Mm.
gonna make it known that they want to know, and I'm glad I spoke out and was like, hey, remember that one? I didn't realize that was you necessarily, but that was really cool.
hmm And technically, I'm just a messenger. Oh, 84%.
It was funny because in earlier I was like, it was a Twitter talk. I remember it was a Twitter talk, but it was a good Twitter talk. And I was like, couldn't remember what one it was, and then later we found out, oh, that might have been the one.
Yeah, no, it's actually just us.
That's crazy.
So we're at 84% right now. That's exciting.
So what's this? Alaskoin? Is it? I wonder if this guy's in Alaska.
No, he is.
Oh, okay. He hold on. He is. Yeah, it says right there. Translated by Google. Oh, what? I don't need translation. It's in English, dude. I was trying to. It like came up with the option to translate, and I was like, "What are you gonna translate it into?"
So I'm using technically two tools. I'm using AI to generate the image and zyro.com to upscale the image.
Okay. Okay. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
I really don't like scammers all that much. I just don't feel like they just give whatever a bad. They just give they just give it a bad name. Whatever they're trying to scam, they give whatever that like NFT, scams. They just giving NFTs a bad name. Especially if someone who like isn't knowledgeable about NFTs, and if they come in it and right when they come in, they just get scammed. They're gonna be more likely to just be like, they're not gonna.
Well, the way I look at it is there's an ecosystem, and the ecosystem has different types of animals. Some are parasites. Some are looking for, a mutualistic symbiosis. Different animals look for different things based on their strengths and weaknesses, right? And based on the ability to maybe conserve energy, yet eat the same, if not more. So I kind of don't blame them for existing because they've always existed in nature. They just have more tools to express themselves than before.
Dude.
Technically, I don't have the right to change anyone. 91%. I don't have the right to change anyone. I just have the right to move away.
I just came across a fat scam, but on my feed, I was like, why is this even in my feed? I made a fake profile, and he's pretending to be 6ix9ine, and he's trying to sell this Takashi coin, Takashi token, and he's saying he's making some 6ix9ine NFTs or whatever, but literally all the sneak peeks or whatever he's giving is all just art that's been from his albums.
I found that Tekashi 6ix9ine is like a whole personality now that people have adopted. I'll meet people and be like, I'm pretty sure I'm talking to a version of Tekashi 6ix9ine right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck?
95%.
Purgatory.
So, melting potion mushrooms drawn in the style of Popeyes the cartoon.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's such a cool one. I'm gonna have to look that up. Oh, sorry, I just saw this one project that this is an independent. No, why you gotta be on a different blockchain? I hate that. I can't do those.
Which blockchain would you prefer?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just talking right now. People are on Polygon, and I'm not trying to be on Polygon at all.
Which is your preferred?
I like Meta. Oh no, not MetaMask. I like the OpenSea.
Yeah.
With you just have your MetaMask and you just connect it to OpenSea. But right when things go to Polygon, you lost me. I'm out. I see these cool projects and then they're on Polygon and I'm like, yeah, I'm not
What the
getting
fuck?
on that. I'm sorry, I don't know. I've always been. I know how
No.
I like it, and I just don't.
Like for me, it's it's just interesting to know that people have preferred malls. Like I look at OpenSea like a mall, right? I look at Ethereum like a mall. right? Polygon like a mall, and different people like different malls,
Yeah.
right? And you
Yeah.
know, in the
Yeah.
OpenSea mall, you have to like pay a lot of money just to walk into a store, basically, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, and the tax is really high.
Oh yeah.
But the likelihood of something appreciating in value in Ethereum, I mean, I think that use case is pretty built out. 98%, 100%.
Yeah. Polygon is just. I just don't know how to. I've never used it and don't really know how to, but I don't really want. I just would rather keep doing what I'm been doing. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I think it's there's a lot of things to know, but the things that you need to know versus what you need to execute, right? So I'll be honest with you, with this one, I don't think it gave you what you're looking for.
Oh, I didn't think it was going to. That's why that was
Uh-huh.
the point. That was
Uh-huh.
the whole point. Was just I want to see what it has to.
What the parameters are. Yeah. Take a look.
Oh, dude, that's so that
The
no,
second
that is
one,
definitely dude. That is it's it's the style in a sense that like if you look at the very first one, kind of it's still that kind of style. It's just a different. It's more abstract and more. That's still super. Whoa, what the, dude? This is wild, man. Yeah, I like your other styles. The ones you like, the one Japanese watercolor style.
mhm. Wow, this looks like a Salvador Dali with like clocks melted on the bottom of the tree. The third one is tripping me out. It looks like oh, that's the potion. Oh shit. So look at the third one. So the third one is
Yeah,
melting potion mushrooms drawn in the style of Popeyes the cartoon. Not necessarily the Popeyes part, maybe I have to be more accurate in my description. But the melting potion, like, you're not gonna tell me you didn't get it. Wow.
dude. Oh my, no, that third one is
Dude.
the potion. You can see it's like trying to be. That's cool.
Uh-huh.
It's like open and cracks. There's a bunch of. That's wild, bro. It's wow.
Third one nailed it.
You can see them in there. That looks really cool, dude. And they're all like, that's just, it's totally, that's cool art, man. This is, I'm just flabbergasted. I can see where it was like melting, the melting
Huh?
part. There's a bunch of cracks in each one of them. If you look, there's like things stemming from it. It looks like cracks stemming from each one. Each one of the pictures at least has like cracks on it.
Amazing.
You see that though? Like how like the one that has like that little uh okay, the first one it's got all those blue cracky things.
Hmm.
Second one's got all those lines that are coming off of it. Kind of looks like cracks. And the last one has a bunch of those cracks next to it. It's just everywhere. This super cool. Super cool. That's crazy.
And,
But if you look at the difference between the style of what you first sent me and the second part is like still it's like whoa.
it's now imagine you had like an afternoon to play with this, and you just like, all right, so create this, and you go walk away, make some coffee, have a
You
sandwich, come back. Oh, look at that.
You just keep tweaking it, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
You keep tweaking it till you get what you want, what you're looking for?
Well, I started being like, instead of watercolor, what if I used acrylic?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So if we did neon mushroom, I guess I'm trying to maybe we should just step away from mushrooms and do something
Mm-hmm.
totally different. Um, what do we say? Neon. Um, You got to think of something. I just thought of neon because it's just colored. Neon. What do you think you could do? Death, or would it be like skull or something?
Tell me exact. Imagine like just like we did with the.
Okay,
Yeah.
neon skull. And then I gotta think of something else. I thought of candy, but I don't think that's gonna be a good one.
I don't know. It sounds pretty good to me.
Neon skull candy. No,
Yeah.
I can't think of anything it would. What I need to do is I need to mess with this
You need to
myself.
mess with it personally. Yeah. So I've created the two tutorials. And what I'll do is I'll start slowly putting up the. What I'll do is I'll specifically publish this NFT, right? And I make sure that you know you get one.
Oh shit! What? What? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
because you helped me put together the commercial, right, this morning. So might as well.
I didn't realize I was gonna do the commercial this morning. So, like, for the commercial, did you just like
Because it's
record
recording
your
the voice, right?
screen, or did you just record?
I recorded my whole screen.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I see. Okay, so I'm just like you're gonna hear. So my
You're going to be
voice.
able to go, yes. Well, you're going to hear our voices, right? But I
Okay.
think what I'll do is I'll cut the part where I'm showing you the image as the intro, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the space probably in the next 2 minutes so I
Okay.
can access the recording, right? And then, I'll replay the recording, record the parts of the audio I need, and then I'll send you a copy of the commercial. Right,
Dude,
and
that's
then
awesome.
if you're cool with that, then what I'll do is create the NFT, and maybe we'll create like a floor.
I was gonna say you might want to cut some of the parts that I was just talking random stuff.
Oh, no, the thing is, like, cutting commercials is like photography. You don't use 99.999% of the photos you take,
Right.
and then with the 1% that you do like, you end up spending a lot of time editing, making it look good. I might edit the audio to make it more clear, run it through RX8, all that good stuff.
Dude, yeah, it's gonna be. I got faith in you. You're gonna make a good commercial, man. You
Oh yeah,
got. I
it's gonna
got
be
some
amazing.
good points. We threw in some good points and some good questions, and
And
hopefully,
I'll be honest with you, it's more like when I show someone something, there's only one response I'm looking for, which is, what the shit is this?
yeah,
Does that make sense? If I don't get that, I haven't got it right yet.
yeah. No, you got that with this. I'll tell you that. I'm looking at them. I keep going in my messages and looking at them, and I'm like, whoa! Like I didn't. Like in a million, like I don't think I could fathom to think that like these images that have been brought up. I don't think I could, like, in my brain. I don't think I could like be like, I just didn't have this thinking at all of how these are just so abstract. They're awesome, but like when I put those things together in my head, none of these, I didn't picture any of these, not even close. But it's awesome, man. That's crazy. It's awesome, but it's crazy. AI, it's cool. Technology is awesome. Love it. We're using it right now. Every day we use it. It's just crazy how we just talk through a screen and just a device. We can connect with thousands of other people all around the world just because we have access to a device to where we can voice like ourselves, and it's just crazy to me.
It's giving everyone the ability to be Howard Stern.
Wait, what? Howard Stern? Yeah, I know who that is, but I'm sorry. What did you say? You have?
Everyone has the ability to be Howard Stern now.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's funny. Well, if you think about it, just even 50 years ago, like stuff was just getting kind of started, like not started, but in a sense, like just 50 to 75 years ago, things were just starting with that. So I'm like
Well,
thinking like before before we got all this technology, like what the heck were people doing? It's like, it feels like I don't know. What's your input on that? What were people doing back then, huh?
they were farming, they were hunting and gathering.
But was it more? Do you think it was necessarily better, or do you think now is more convenient
Um,
in a
the,
sense?
the I found that no matter how much money you have, you still have problems,
Mm,
right? So it's like even though you might be king, you could be like, the Sun King, Louis the 14th or whatever, right? But although you have keys to the kingdom, it's also the quickest way to the guillotine,
mm,
right?
yeah.
And there's a lot of people that we haven't seen that are very talented or whatever, and they've been consumed by the blade, so to speak.
Money.
Yeah, they call it the retail guillotine in finance. You know, everyone makes money off of people losing money, right? That's how value is exchanged.
Yeah, if I didn't have so for my phone bill, I'm under like my one of my family members takes care of like all that stuff, so all I do is send them money like every, month or something, just send them money. But if I didn't have somebody there that was like, hey, taking care of that stuff, I probably wouldn't have a phone, to be honest. Like
It's okay.
it's just
You
so much effort that I'm like, you know what? I could go without this. It'd be hard, but
in nature, we have this kind of symbiotic behavior, right? Whether you're a rhino who has like um, you
the
know,
birds.
yeah, exactly, or a anemone fish, right?
Mm,
So
right.
these relationships of people trying to be parasites or people trying to, you know, complement each other, not I, but complement, right?
Mm.
Right? Those complementary relationships are there.
Yeah, dude, you didn't have to do all this today. You didn't have to come on this space and
Mhm.
teach me all this stuff, but I was like, I wanted to learn and you were willing to teach, and I was very fortunate to
Well,
sit on this space and be able to hear what you banter back and forth and hear what you had to say, and you hearing what I have to say and vice versa, and I
well,
don't know,
keep
it's
in
just a
mind though
nice
that
space.
there's a lot of people who will listen to this space and be like, "Yo, that guy's just using the other guy to sell his NFT," and I understand that, right?
Oh yeah, totally. I can definitely see
Right,
where people would say that, but
but they have access to the recording and they can make their own minds up.
the
Hmm.
fact you're making an opportunity for other people to, I guess, people are you're letting people gain something without really asking anything in not in return, if that makes, I don't know if I worded that
No,
right.
no, you're right. I am looking for a return. Don't get me wrong.
Oh
If and
yeah,
when
no.
this NFT collection does well, right,
Yes.
there's going to be
Yeah.
value exchanged, right? And so that's why I want to make sure that, that there was a way that you could share in any potential wealth creation.
I was just saying you're giving people, I guess, the opportunity to create something themselves, even when they
Yeah,
don't know necessarily how to do that. You're giving people a window and an option to learn and actually go do that and have an option.
it's kind of like a micro module of a Udacity course or an
Mm,
online e-learning course, right? So, so my name is it's a joke. But still, you want to attract funding, right? So you want to make a picture.
I just got it.
You
I was like,
understand
I
that?
know you. So you want to? I just thought that was your name, and then I read,
No,
underneath it says attract funding. I just got that. I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. Nobody gets it. You're like one of the few people who actually understand it.
That's funny. I got it. Well, now that I read it and look at it, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Now that you said it, so you want to. I just thought it was so you want to, and it's like what? And then people ask you what, and you're like, boom.
Attract.
Dude,
Yeah.
you got a good that's a really good not conversation starter, but it's a really it's a really good conversation starter though, because people are like, why did you name yourself that? And then perfect opportunity to be like, well, let me
Well, I'm so
I
glad that you asked.
I wish there were more, I guess, more people that came in to interact, because I would have loved to I know you took all my ideas, but it's always nice to have another set of vocals to
Mhm.
like at least at least be like, hey, because sometimes I guess my ideas or my concept of that idea, like it would have been cool, like I say one thing and then last coin over here says like a different thing, and then instead of me doing like mushroom melting potion, I could be like mushroom and he'd be like something else, mushroom falling, I don't know, you know what I mean, waves, and you're like, what? But we all had just one brain, one idea with, I guess, me, but it was still really cool to be able to do that with you.
It's
But
beautiful. I'm going to create this module this morning. I'm going to record everything, put everything up. Yeah, this is all going to happen today.
that's sick. It's your
Right?
Monday. It's Monday, man. But yeah, I know you're closing the space in a little bit. I just wanted to
No,
make sure
it's
you
okay.
know that I appreciate.
This won't be the last time we talk, right? But
Oh no, dude, I make sure to.
but like the number one thing I'm trying to do is provide something that is useful to people, right? If I'm ever going to create an NFT project, it's like, so would you just create a bunch of pieces of shit and people bought them? I don't want to be in that position.
So are you when you're making? Aren't you've made a collection partly already, haven't you?
I've made the precursors to the
Oh,
collection,
okay. All right.
right? And so I've had, like, if you look at the attention it's not gotten a lot. But if you look at the accounts that have liked the posts, those accounts are like snipers and, people who work at Metaverse.
Mm,
So I know there's a kernel of attention, right? I know that already.
mm-hmm.
And some people, like the same thing with that polar bear, the entire floor was bought, right? And so, just like you, silently observing everything and making notes.
Hmm.
What is the anatomy of an NFT project? What do people complain about? Like, for example, you said that Polygon was not attractive to you. I understand. Very good, like for market research, it's gold, right?
Right. No. Wow. Wow. It's been a morning. We started at 7:08 with coffee, and now we're here. Just kind of crazy how it just we. That was cool though. We've been everywhere in the moon, but you definitely you got to what you wanted to do. You got to do what you wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like I've just thrown the conversation elsewhere, but it got reiterated every time back to the what you're trying to do with the tutorial and
Well, I think it went back to where we first met without ever
correct.
realizing it, right? Yeah, because it's primarily like I know KC and Casey's involved in this, that, and the other. So I just asked him, hey, Casey, can you give me the Coles notes? And Casey will explain it to me. So
What's on? Yeah, you're gonna do that. You're gonna do a bunch. It sounds like you got a busy day ahead of you a little bit.
well, last week was the conference, right? So when you're doing the conference, it's just like my whole like the conference is Wednesday, Thursday.
Mm.
And so Monday, Tuesday, I'm learning the songs to play on steel pan. Like, hold on, let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about.
All right.
All right, I'll put this at the top. There you go. So that was the conference last week. So I took the weekend to recover.
Oh man, I forgot I was muted, but yeah, dude, you need that though, dude. I get socially drained sometimes where I'm like, yo, I need some
For a ride.
freaking R&R here.
For a ride. That's it.
So you've been learning how to play that, right?
Yeah.
Dude, those are awesome. I was there's one that you can tap. There's one that you can tap on your
Yeah, the handpan.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you DJ and play that?
Not really. I know music and I have access to YouTube.
Oh,
So I
okay.
guess that makes me a DJ. Right? But it's just when I play gigs, I'll bring my steel pan. Sometimes I'll play pan. Sometimes I'll play music. Sometimes I'll play it together. Sometimes I'll play them apart. You know, just keep it interesting. Keep
Yeah,
it
dude,
constant.
that definitely does. I'll tell you that. It definitely keeps it interesting. I mean, if somebody's DJing and then they pulled that out, I'd be like, what is going on? And they start turning up with it, and you're like, whoa. All right, bud.
Well, it's I take it for granted, you know, because it's always been a part of my life.
Whoa. People are going crazy right now. Okay. There's this project I'm a part of, and they're doing a lot of the guy gave it. I'm trying to word this. He created an opportunity to have an art contest of people who are making his art kind of into like a different concept or whatever.
Mhm.
And these people are the community, at least, is coming up with some freaking amazing art. Like it's crazy. I've seen that's all that's going on. Like I can just see a bunch of that stuff on my feed, and I'm like, holy crap, that stuff is. There's some real good ass artists out there, man, that just stay hidden, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, you can't be certain about anything, right? There's not a single person who predicted that penguin JPEGs would sell for $1 million, but here we are.
What the fuck, dude?
Mhm. So,
No.
so what I'm going to do is let me end the space because I want to grab this recording and
Right.
play it. I really
Yeah.
appreciate everything. I'm going to be in touch when I put everything up, right? And we'll just figure it out.
Dude, yeah. I mean, my notifications are on, so just saying.
Yeah. And
So
if
like
you
when you
know
came in the
what,
space, I was like, ooh, what's happening here? You know? Yeah, if you
well,
hold spaces, man,
100%.
I'll try to join them. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll talk. Yeah, I got you. You're following me now. You can message me. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
it's been a pleasure, man. Enjoy the rest of your coffee.
Yeah, I'm going to pour out some more.
Yeah,
Pour
better.
out a little coffee.
You better get started. You got a big day. No, All right.
No, I feel like I've already had 90% of the day, honestly, through our
Yeah.
conversation, because it'll provide the uh, full transparency. I was always looking for a way to create a commercial, right, to show this and to show the value. And I think the recording that we created today is what I needed to create that commercial.
Well, I'm glad I could. I'm glad I could be a part of it, man. I definitely was full transparency. Was not my intention to be in a commercial today. I was I was just kidding. I'm just playing. But
No,
on
it's
a
all
real
good.
note, it's been fun. It's been a good morning, man. Thanks for starting my day off good, man.
Absolutely. Can I put your can I mention your account on it when you're
Oh yeah,
speaking?
yeah. If you want to do that, yeah. That'd be fine
Yeah,
with me.
'cause I think there's a way for me and the Adobe captions. The Adobe captions get automatically generated, but I think there's a way for me to um, differentiate between speakers. I think is
Yeah,
the
it'll yeah. What you're saying is it'll show when you're speaking and then what I'm
yeah,
saying. Okay, that's good.
exactly.
Yeah, you need that. So yeah, that's fine. That's okay,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. But if this commercial is effective, I think it'll be no longer than 60 seconds.
You know, do what you need to do, man.
You
You have my consent. All right, there we go.
know,
It's recorded. It's recorded.
well, again, it's one of those things though that if I screw you, that's the worst thing I think I could do to my project.
Oh, dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like full transparency. If I were to go back on my word, right? Like, that would be the worst thing that I could do. Uh, even no, what I would say is that if I tried to screw you, I could probably make a lot of money. But if you got upset by how I treated you, then the way that you reacted in public could sink the project as well, right? Just like full transparency, right?
Yeah, I could
So,
make it like if I really wanted to and you really screwed me, I could express myself and make like a post and
yeah,
just call you out
and
on
now,
it and hopefully get it spread around. But like,
yeah, and now I'm the biggest piece of shit in the world, right?
not the biggest. I think the biggest would be a big word, but there's a lot more people that are doing horrible stuff. But yeah,
Mhm.
it wouldn't be very. I mean, it wouldn't be in your best interest. Wouldn't be
I
in
don't
your.
think it would. I
I
don't
don't think
think
you
it
would
would
gain
stir.
anything from
No,
screwing me over. You wouldn't gain anything.
no,
Like
no.
liquidy,
I have a lot
maybe.
more to lose. I have a lot more to lose, I think, and so I want to like. It's just because we don't know each other doesn't mean I can't honor the social contract that emerged. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the fact that you asked me if you could use my username shows respect, at least to me. That you're trying to be at least respectful and like, yeah, dude, you're
Well,
good. Do what you need to do today, man. I was like,
well, the company I have is called unicornlaunching.com. So maybe you'll be the next unicorn.
maybe. No, I don't.
You never know. The world's a
Yeah.
crazy place.
So wait, it was unicorn. What? I gotta look this shit up.
Unicorn launcher.
Unicorn launcher. All right. Yeah, dude. Wrap it
Yeah, if
up.
you go to unicornlaunching.com, you'll see it.
Unicorn launcher.
Launching.
Launching, not launcher. Jeez.
Unicornlaunching.com. I think you'll like the image.
Okay, it's just loading. Oh,
Mhm.
dude, it's your fucking Sorry, it's your unicorn.
Mhm. Now, try. You see those dancing people there?
Oh, dude, yeah. Okay, I didn't know there
Okay,
were people at first, but they're like, it
so
looks like it's just like that's
so now
cool.
what I want you to do is put your hand on those people and drag them into the air.
Whoa! Oh God, I did not see that coming. That's so cool. What the? I just threw one guy in the air. Whoa! Dude, what is going on? You got some crazy abstractions. I just shoved somebody's butt into somebody's face. That was weird. I didn't mean to. Sorry, but now I'm throwing them. This is what? This is kind of
Yeah.
fun and interactive. I can tip you. what? Is this
Yeah.
it? This is just it, huh? And then I can buy it? Whoa, I got to make an account. There's a shopping cart. Whoa, they are all damn.
So I've taken off. The thing is, you can't see any of the products I have for sale,
Correct.
right? Those are all just hidden in the background.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, when it first starts, it just looks like a bunch of gears are like
Yeah.
they're like the same, and then you start grabbing one, and you're like, you go over there, and then
Yeah.
that's
I'll show you the person who created that as well. It's amazing.
I thought you created it. I was like,
Yeah,
whoa, this
man.
is still really cool. I didn't realize there were people. It just looks like a bunch of gears, but now I can see that they're people. It's just
Hmm.
abstract people, but yeah, I
Hmm.
can't see any of your That's okay though.
Yeah. So like recently, I simplified a lot of stuff that I had. So I took off all products. I unfollowed everyone from Twitter. Like, you know, I started muting a bunch of words.
Mm.
Right? Like I muted abortion. Not because I
Yeah.
didn't care about that subject, but it's just like I don't need to hear about it on Twitter. You know,
Right.
I don't need to hear about a lot of stuff.
Everyone's got their preferences, man, and that's why they want you to make Twitter what you want it to be. And I'm actually really glad that Elon took over. Like, so glad. It it just seems like it seems like it's in a better direction of where it needs to go with Elon than where it was going with the people who had it before him.
Where it was going wasn't a sustainable path.
It was a path of a I don't want to sound like I'm hating on Twitter, but let's just say I didn't care for Twitter before Elon got it. Like I was on it for a little bit, maybe sent a couple tweets out, but it wasn't something I was really on every day. And now since Elon got on it every day, and with the spaces and the demonetizing a lot of things, I've noticed that a lot of more things are like you can see a lot more stuff, and they're not just taking you
So,
off the whole chain.
would you say that you use Twitter primarily? Would you say that your return to becoming an active user of Twitter was related to Elon Musk's takeover?
I would say that he played a factor in me
Hmm.
using Twitter, coming back and using Twitter.
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yep.
I thought that would be the case for a lot of people, right? Um, it's when you have the opinions that people like you and I have, you're kind of waiting for the shoe to drop.
Mm. Yeah. You're like,
You know,
when's it coming? You're like, when's it coming?
when's it
When's it
coming?
coming? Like, yeah.
When's it coming? When's it coming? When's it coming? It's about to come. Is
The
it that
fact,
one?
the fact we had to have that thought and think about, when's it coming? That fact that we had to do that is just a shame. It's not. That's.
Well, I think the pendulum swings. The pendulum always swings. Primarily, we see it swing politically. We go from left to right, from right to left. It's like the only things we know are anarchy and socialism, and we go in between both of those as much as to keep
Yeah.
everyone happy, right? And I think that pendulum plays out everywhere. So you know, because we're trying to balance protection of the individual versus tyranny of the state, right?
Yeah.
And
And
that pendulum it's almost like to know what doesn't work, you have to experience it long enough for the negative uh, consequences to play themselves out, right? And I think that's happening everywhere,
well,
right?
there needs to be a separation between like an individual and state. Like there can't just. I mean, I'm trying to reword this. There needs to be. There can't like within the state. If there was just there should that the state should just make an app. That's what they should just do, and they can just have that whole platform and that whole app, and then they can just stay out of all these companies, big companies.
Yeah, the thing is, corporations are not corporations; they're people, right? Because people make decisions, right?
Right.
And people make decisions to serve themselves. I made a decision to open a space.
Correct.
I imagine because I want to serve myself, right?
Mm.
And technically I believe that I was able to serve myself through this conversation today, right? So I have to expect that other people go through that same thought process. And if somebody's, if I was in a position a month ago where somebody says, you know what, if you just publish these NFTs as they are, I'll give you $2 million.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they actually have a law. They call it entrapment because they notice that over $2 million, everyone says yes.
Yeah.
Right? So they have entrapment laws. So it's like, we're not all that morally righteous as we want to paint ourselves. I think everyone's trying to be the Instagram Jesus, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe I'm a cynic. Maybe it's because I'm a recruiter. And, not everything you see on a resume is true. So it's like, pray to Allah, but tie up your camels.
That's good. No, nothing's wrong with being a recruiter, dude.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I say it like that, like, because I have the utmost reverence for the people I work with, right? And it's like, when you work with someone intelligent, you can be like, wow, it's like you put them on a pedestal, right?
Yeah.
When you meet someone it's like, so you swam with the dolphins and derived their intelligence system? What? What are you talking about?
I'm sorry.
And then they're like, yeah, we applied it to like this bank and we found people were trading shitty mortgage-backed securities using the word poop and poopy because compliance does not look for poop and poopy. And you're like, what? He's like, yeah, people communicate in pods just like dolphins do. So if you can understand the path of their language, then you can understand what they're trying to accomplish. And I'm like, you've got to be fucking joking. A dolphin did this? And they're like, what?
I just read one of your Twitter posts, and
Which one?
it was the final witness called in the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. It's Mr. Hanky, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Forget my account. If you follow my buddy Quinn, I did stand up for a while and he was my mentor. If you follow Quinn's Instagram, it is the best.
Who the hell is Quinn? Sorry.
He's a comedian friend of mine.
Is he on your page?
Let me send you his Instagram.
You're following him, aren't you? Oh, you're Insta. Okay, it's on Insta. Okay.
Yeah, 1 sec. Let me send it to you.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the best. Yeah, he just released a comedy album, music.
Here, it'll bring me. Oh, hopefully it wasn't a spam link. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Dude, yeah. Be careful who you. Oh, hold on. I got it. Quinn the comic. All right, I'm gonna copy and I gotta open up the app real quick and get in here. Yeah, I should probably let you go, man. We should probably wrap this up.
Just
huh?
1 sec. Add this to your story.
There you go. I followed him. You had some stand-up comedy with him?
Yeah. I did stand up with him like almost 10 years ago.
Oh, so it's gonna be way down on the feed, huh? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, it's way down there. How was this ago? 2020. Oh wow, that was way down there, man. You're way down there. So this is like before he was what he came to be, huh? Was this early on? Was this early in his comicals?
Yeah, we have new. So he released an album, and we got it on Sirius XM. It's playing on Sirius right now. The last time
Oh
we,
wow.
yeah. The last time we checked, he should be the most streamed new comedian with an album in Canada right now.
Wow,
And
that's
so,
great.
yeah. So I'm just waiting for the stream data to come in from Sound Exchange, and then we're going to start pitching larger and larger companies because we have the streaming data.
He's got a lot of cool shoes back then.
Oh,
He kept posting shoes, man.
yeah. The last one I remember I posted was he had the ones from White Man Can't Jump.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was sponsored by Ewing's actually.
That's why he has so many of those?
But,
Okay, I
yeah,
was wondering. I was like, dude, he's got like a lot of these sick ass shoes, bro. Whoa.
yeah, man. Clint.
Fresh comedy. Made a Prince of Bel Air fresh comedy kind of looking thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find which one. So he has a clip of you during the stand up?
Oh, I have clips of me doing stand up.
Quinn Glorious Bastards. What the
Oh,
fuck?
his flyers are amazing. He does all the artwork himself.
That's funny.
From attract funding.
Man, his shoe game was on point here.
Oh, it's crazy. Oh, I found some more stand up.
Grand Theft Auto for PlayStation. What is that? The very first Grand Theft Auto? Wow.
I don't even know what I'm saying in this. I think I was translating Jamaican for the people in the audience. This is a hard rock.
Boat life, yeah. Just on my way to my next gig. Boat life, yeah. Oh, whoa, he was on a boat thing. Doc? Sail and cinema. All right, man. Oh, you put yourself up there. You really put yourself on blast now.
Yeah, check it out. I like this show.
Boy Crackson. Oh, that was funny. That was good.
Yeah, so just some crowd work with the folks in the audience.
Yeah, you're like, what? We don't like her. Why don't we like her?
she's an idiot. That was Specs. I'm like, what? She's an idiot, dog. Oh, she's an idiot. Oh, so to translate, that means she's an idiot. The only thing I haven't. So that's from 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. I was saying that was a while ago, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So all love. I can't wait to But my biggest thing is to make sure that this recording is actually intact. Right? So I can use the audio. But all love, brother. I'm gonna
Hey,
send you some
yeah,
stuff.
dude, for sure. I'm sure I'll see you again. I'm sure I'll be in another
Yeah.
Talk You host, and I'm sure we'll stay in contact, man.
Yeah, man. All love.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
letting me
no,
come
I'm
up and
excited.
chat and talk to you,
But
man.
I mean, if you're appreciative of me, I'm more appreciative of you. 100%.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Big things happen
Hey,
this morning.
enjoy the rest of your day, man. Enjoy your Monday. Make it great. It's already
Hey,
going a good
we're
start.
not
I
even
think it's off
not
to a
even
great
10 a.m.
start.
yet.
Right.
I'll see you tomorrow, 7 a.m. We'll see how much progress we've made.
I mean, dude, I mean, I'm down to. I'll be on tomorrow. You know,
Yeah,
if you're really
for sure.
on at 7 and you have a talk at 7 tomorrow,
Yeah,
I'll be there because I wake up at like 5 or 6.
yeah.
My
I'm
body
waking up.
just wakes me
I'm
up.
waking up earlier now. Yeah, we'll call it the double X show. Not X, you know.
All right, yeah. I'd love to. I'll have to tweet out the space tomorrow though, just to see. I
Well,
want. I
not
want
even
some.
like, to be honest with you, I don't need to talk to anyone else but you, right? Like, if someone
Oh,
else wants to come up, great.
all
But
right, that's
yeah,
fine, man. No, it's like,
yeah, yeah.
I
We don't need to have
enjoy.
1,000 people in here. Yeah.
I always enjoy having more minds. I like more minds because everyone's mind contributes something great to the bigger. I just like connecting with people too. So
Mhm. It's always a timing thing, right? And like, I haven't actively promoted spaces, but I think it'd be interesting if I did like half an hour every morning, like at 7, just while I'm getting up.
yeah, that's the. I mean, yeah, there's gonna be people that when they're up at that time, that's the kind of audience you're gonna get them.
Mhm.
So
One space at a time.
right, hey, have a great day, man. Thanks
Hey,
for
all of that.
sharing.
Really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it.
Loved how you showed me all that good jazz, man.
I think we did something special today. I really
I
do.
think it was pretty great. So
All love. Well, we can't forget Kobayashi. Kobayashi, all
oh,
love.
dude, the plug over here, the silent plug. I can hear his silence is an approval rating right there.
Mm, the silence is resounding.
I feel like he would have said something if he had something to object.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a. If we're a problem, then he's a part of it.
For real, yeah. I was like, dude, he stayed through like the whole. I mean,
Yeah.
it was cool to have to hear from that one lady that popped in for a little
Yeah.
bit. I'm glad she came up and said something, but
Mhm.
she
100%.
had she had to go. She needed her Starbucks. No, I'm just playing. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know. I was
I
just
think it's
making a
black, so
joke.
it's probably Milo. Amazing. All of
Alaska,
that. Alaska.
Alaska, you're the coolest, man. I'm glad you stayed in here. See, when you're hot when when the feds are watching you. You're doing something right. I
Mo opinions, more problems.
think a little bit. No.
All love.
All
All
right.
right. We'll talk to you soon. Take
Yeah.
care. Go bye.
Peace out, man.
All right. You're the man.
You're the
Oh,
man.
sorry. I assumed your gender. Are you the man?
I am. I identify as a man. Yep, you can
Okay.
definitely call me that. I don't know how you
So
identify as, but I'm just
identify as a horned horse.
just so you want to attract some fun. No,
Awesome. All right. We'll talk to you soon. More.
yeah, man. We'll be in contact. Peace.
All right. Take care.